positively because there are lots of challenges in education, access to education for kids with different disabilities, and we know that learning disabilities in a sense are diversifying themselves. So we have a much more diverse spectrum of capacities of children to learn, and I think technology is helping us here to have personalized approach to every single child so that he or she can learn based on its own capacity and capabilities. We have an issue of language, for example, because our country is speakers of 1 million, language speakers of 1 million, and we need to have a world top education with a very, very tiny language. Technology is helping us here very significantly, and I think small languages with their native languages and native cultures can survive in the global world with the help of technology, and I think that's very important. And assessment, I mean, it simplifies teacher job, so lots of assessment and feedback can be done by the generative text box, for example, to the students. That teachers can use the time for more higher level cognitive skill development than rather doing this manual, routine task. So I'm very positive about AI, and we in Estonia are very open-minded about allowing AI into education. This happens when we continue teaching the way we have done in last century. Repetitive. We repeat mathematical formulas, just learning them by heart, or we repeat some text and we learn to read fast rather than understanding what we're reading. This is not going to work because in this technology is so much better than we are. So humans need to go into a different level. So they need to develop new cognitive skills, which is critical thinking, capability of associating things with each other, not just repetitive knowledge, repetition or some stereotype-based learning. This is useless. So if we don't evolve into higher level of thinking, then machines will take over us. So it's useful in, as I said, in language, in providing language assistance to the children, translations, international communication. It's useful in generating new knowledge that you need to learn fast. You don't have to start collecting different sources of information yourself, for which you need a lot of time. You write to ChatGPT, please explain to me the beginning of the First World War, and here it comes. The ChatGPT explains to you, you read, but you need to know what is factually correct and what is not, and whose perspective on history ChatGPT is telling you, because that's the skill that we need to develop in children. So, because ChatGPT is biased. They are biased, they tell history from somebody's perspective, not from everybody's perspective. And that means that history teaching in school has to change. It has to teach the children to understand the perspectives rather than understanding facts, because the facts ChatGPT can generate very fast. But searching information just takes time. Now ChatGPT summarizes to you the information, but you have to have skills to learn to understand this information. You can't take it for granted. You need to really understand this information, and you need to absorb, and for that you need critical thinking. And that's what we need to teach at school, rather than teaching them First World War started in 1914. This is not necessary to learn, because that's what ChatGPT will tell you. It also tells you when it started, how it started, who was shot, who was not shot. But we have a French perspective on the First World War, we have Arab perspective on the First World War, and we have Eastern European perspective on the First World War. And this is what the student needs to know, that there are different perspectives on what the World War meant to different nations, and that ChatGPT might not tell you. It's biased based on how much information is produced in the internet world. Who is producing the most information? The data it's using is produced by the humans, and in this sense, Estonian perspective definitely is not told by the ChatGPT. So you need to really be capable of realizing that's just one perspective that the ChatGPT is telling you. We need to be open-minded to the adaptation of technology. We need to be aware, and I mean aware of ethical issues, aware of biases that AI has, and we need to be skillful in terms of developing our own skills on a next level, on a human skills. AI is putting humans under evolutionary pressure. We can't continue, developing as humans the way we have done in the last 200 years. We need to get on a new level. Our brains need to get on a new level. And AI is putting us under this pressure. And now it's either, survive or perish, right? So that's what for the humans the AI challenge is. And I think let's take up this challenge and let's develop into the next level. 200 years ago, when we had industrialization revolution, this put also humans under evolutionary pressure. That meant that every human needs to read and write and understand the text and be capable of understanding instructions and things like that. That was a huge evolutionary pressure on humans, because until then not everybody was literate, right? So we have done it. I think we will do it now again, and we go to the next level when it comes to our evolutionary development. I think we will see a classroom which is not anymore students sitting and the teacher standing in front of the class. We see teacher as a mentor who helps students, guiding them through the self-directed learning perspective, and the AI is an assistant system there to the teacher to help. So that's how we will see. And it doesn't have to happen in a classroom. It can happen everywhere. I see that UAA is also very open-minded towards technology and innovation and progress, and I think that's a very good mindset to start the next level of education, because that's what UAI is inspiring. It's aspiring to get high on the world top, like where Estonia is number 5 in mathematics in the world. That's I think the goal where we are going, where your country is going. Technology is there to help you to do that. The technology has to be available, but we have to understand that technology does not solve the issue itself. Because if you only just use old textbooks and old style teaching and then just digitalize it and use it from the iPad, that's not going to change the way you study and you learn. What we need to change is the way we study and we learn. We need to focus on skills development, on competences development of the kids, not just ask them to repeat and read the texts with the help of technology. That's not going to develop their competence level. This is a different teaching. And I think the success key of Estonia is of teacher autonomy. The teacher is there, the most knowledgeable professional who knows how to do it. Not the Minister of Education, not the Ministry of Education, but the teacher. And the teacher training here, how we train our teachers is crucial, because they are the ones who are actually doing it in the classroom, not the politicians. Yeah. For me, textbooks are obsolete. They are obsolete. They are last century. We don't use that. We use textbooks, but not fully anymore. So our teaching process does not depend on a textbook. It depends on, we say to our school system that the kid by the end of the first year at school needs to know in math this, in Estonian language this, in English this, and in something else. How the teacher is doing it is up to the teacher. And the teacher does not have to have a textbooks for that. They can have a different digital tools. They can have different AI assisting them in doing this. They can teach it from outside of the classroom. As long as the children learn certain competencies at certain level, this is what you do.